A Jmix exclusive.
Well, I saw a couple of things, but I would say they were, all the rumors you hear, a lot of them are true. I saw a couple of things, but I was shielded from a lot, and I was going in there singing and getting out of there. I never hung out at the parties. I never went to any too many affairs. I would always give my tickets away to anything because it was really crazy back then. And when you are around people that are a lot of the people that were hired were actually gang members, and there was a lot of beef. There's Bloods and Crips and all that. I'm from New York. We didn't even have gangs, back then. They just started coming. I forgot when, but it was really prevalent in L.A. And at that time, death row was just that. It was labeled with Bloods and Crips. They were just gangs and gang members, people. So there was always, at the parties, there would always be fights and stuff and shootings, and I didn't want to be involved. I just went, if I had to work, I would go to work, sing, and go home. So I didn't see a lot of violence. I didn't, but I just knew of things. I heard things. I heard horror stories. One time, this guy, one of Shig's guy, my good friend who I love, he passed away. He, had an engineer. He made an engineer stay there and record him at gunpoint. And he asked us, me and my other friend, to sing. And we did that. It was things like that happened. But I didn't really see much, thank God.
Oh wow, that you caught me off guard with that. Um, Sorry. Do you think that? And I'm not gonna press you to say anything that you don't want to, but do you think that part of the problem between Dre and Suge was Michelle A?
Absolutely not. I can tell you that right now. No, absolutely not. That was amazing to everybody. Dre and Michelle were over years ago before, you know, Suge and Michelle got together. They probably did that to fight. And I remember Dre telling me, he was like, you know what, they deserve each other, whatever. He never thought twice about that. He had nothing to do with her. This was something, it seemed like, it was amazing that happened. I never expected that or suspected it. But this was at the very end when I wasn't around much. This is when it got ugly and weird, and everybody was trying to get Dre's attention, get back at him, whatever. They were calling him name. She was angry. Suge was angry. So who knows why they got together? It's hard to believe. I can't even believe it. It's girl. I'm like, whatever. And Dre had moved on. He doesn't think twice about it. So everything that happened was all because everybody wanted Dre's attention and he didn't want to give it to them. That's why everybody was mad. That's why he had problems. Dre didn't do anything to anybody. He wasn't the type of person. Maybe some people thought that, he might have promised to do some music with some people and then change his mind. People get upset about that. But believe me, it's all because, they wanted his attention and they couldn't get it. And, maybe some people have other beefs, I don't know, regarding money, and that could be serious. I don't know. But as far as the split there with Dre and Sugar, it had nothing to do with Michelle.
Back to Tupac. Was what was the first song that you did with Tupac, and what was it like meeting Tupac?
Oh, it was great. I had heard about Tupac in the news and everything. When I met him, he was just like himself, very open. He's very talkative, very nice to me, very appreciative. I think we did the first song they called me in. It might have been Holla at Me maybe, or Unconditional Love, one of those songs. I don't know. It was such a blur. I don't know. But whatever it was, I remember the next day or so, he came in. He was so appreciative. He pulled me to the side. He was like, oh, Nanci, thank you for lacing my record. It was and I was like, he really was grateful and showed it, and I was really shocked because a lot of the guys, they were like, oh, it's great, but nobody did the way he did. He was so sweet, and he would always come in the booth and push me, like, come on. He was very supportive and he was a good coach. He was very good to have around you. So good for your ego. He made you really think you could do it, very positive. And, he said he was going to write songs for me. He was very supportive. I don't know why. I mean, I guess he liked my voice, but, he just went out of his way. He was never flirtatious, nothing like that. Never anything uncomfortable. Always just very positive and about the music and creating and wanting me to sound great and push and get the best out of me. He brought the best out of me, more than anybody. Dre was good too, like that. Dre was more, if you did something, he was like, okay, that's it. But Tupac was like, come on, do it. He was really into it and very musically inclined, and he was a singer. I think that's the difference. Tupac can really sing, and he was just a good motivator. I would say that, very good.
Did you ever, because you were there during the height of the media hyped East versus West Coast beef,
Right.
I guess. First of all, was that a real thing at Death Row?
It absolutely was, and I didn't like it at all. I really didn't because I used to love all the East Coast artists. They were all great to me. And it really wasn't them, I have to say. The East Coast they were not the instigators or the culprits. And again, it goes right back to jealousy, Without saying too much, I know that, the only reason was, Puffy and them were doing their thing. The R&B department was great. The hip-hop department was great. And there was a lot of jealousy. And when people are jealous and they can't compete, they resort to trying to tear the other people down or wipe them out so they can step in because they know they can't win any other way. So that's all that was about. And it's a shame that, two of the greatest, and I mean, Tupac was great. I swear, he was really good. He would do so many songs in a day, so fast, so talented, And now he's not even here, and I've heard the same about Biggie. I met Biggie one time, and I was in the studio, and he wanted to do something with me. Somebody came and told me, but then the whole thing, the Suge and them, it didn't work out. They told me, they were like, it wasn't going to work out. They really didn't want to do anything. I heard he liked me and wanted to do something, but then it wasn't going to happen because of that. Nobody wanted to deal with all that drama, and they thought I was part of Death Row, not that I was part of him, but nobody knew if they would have to deal with him or not, So the East Coast, West Coast thing was a tragedy, and it's a shame, and I didn't like it at all, but I really didn't have anything to do with it. I was just
Oh,
there observing.
Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?